Hello and welcome back to another episode of the Halftime Podcast. Halftime Cuppa's very own 15-minute podcast to fill your halftime break. This evening, I'm joined by two fantastic panelists. I'm really pleased to welcome back Ese Agboaye. Ese, it's been a long time since I've had you on the podcast. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. It's glad to be back.
Good man, good man. And joining Ese, we have Jake Thomas, the Welsh wonder. How are you, Jake?
Hello, I'm not too bad, thank you.
Good. We've not actually spoken since the last time we did our podcast.
I know.
Yeah,
ages.
so this is, I know it has been ages. So maybe we might have to try and do some catch up in this podcast as well.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Spill our personal lives out.
Yeah. And just a forewarning. I mean, hopefully you don't catch this listening to the podcast, but I'm down with some kind of plague at the moment. It's killed me this week. I tell you what. For those who know me, or quite close to me in real life, I had I'm doing my level 2 at the moment, my coaching level 2, and I had my sort of in situ visit, which is where they come and they watch you they watch you coach your own team.
How'd that go?
Yeah, it went really well actually, but I was very worried because I had it on Tuesday, and basically there we go. That came down on Monday.
Nice.
So Tuesday, I was dead. I was so concerned because I was expecting 20, 30 kids to turn up and me to have a sore throat with no voice.
That's probably where you've got it from, to be fair. Kids are like viral infection machines. Like if you're around kids or just children in general, you will catch something regardless of what time of year it is. But especially now, now is even worse.
Yeah, no, you're right. But I think I know the destination of my one. That goes to one of my flatmates, not Harry. Mitchell.
Typical Mitchell. Such a Mitchell thing to do.
Anyway, I digress. We've gone well off topic. So yeah, if my voice goes or if I sound pre-puberty, that's the reason why. I've had lots of voice cracks this week, which has been really embarrassing. But hey ho, we live on. Nevertheless, tonight's podcast is about whether players should be booked for taking their tops off when celebrating a goal. So that's a really good point. We'll keep this to men's football for the time being.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
I think politically.
To be fair, there's that one clip I've seen. I think it's a Swedish player. She swapped shirts with a guy from the crowd, and that was absolutely fine. But I digress. Yeah. That has nothing to do with anything.
Yeah, I mean, I
think this is more about celebrations anyway, isn't it? I think this is more about
I guess the other
games
thing is,
as opposed to the end of.
Yeah, definitely. So anyway, let's get your opening thoughts on that. Let's start with Ese, because Jake, I've had your little rabble there.
By all means, yeah.
So Ese, should get booked for taking their shirts off when celebrating a goal?
I understand that referees want to keep players in check about that, but I think players being booked for just taking their shirts off, especially when they're celebrating in the heat of a moment, it's ridiculous because you can't really react in a certain way in the heat of the moment. Being in the heat is it's like an immediate reaction that you can't really control yourself.
It just happens, isn't it? Sometimes it just happens.
Well, this is where this topic has sort of come from. A couple of weeks ago, obviously, sadly, the events what happened at Leicester, and then I believe is it Damari Gray?
Oh, that's right. Yeah,
He
yeah.
he took his shirt off, and the referee that game, Lee Probert, I think. Now he cautioned Damari Gray for obviously taking his shirt. And that caused a bit of a Twitter meltdown.
Yeah, I remember that now.
And Piers Morgan, well, not one to shy away from taking to Twitter, but he basically vented how sort of inhumane Lee Probert was, and but I don't know if you guys saw the incident or saw the clips of Lee Probert actually close up. You could tell he didn't actually want to give it. But the thing is, obviously, if he doesn't give it, he gets into trouble for it.
Well, yeah, that's the difficult position that referees are in. Obviously, you don't. He's not going to want to book anyone for doing that in light of the events. But at the same time, you've got to keep the same standards up throughout, the season. And whilst it sounds ridiculous, you almost can't apply the logic of taking into, each situation's account. You've essentially, it's like we've seen it happen. Unfortunately, that's just the rules of the game. His job is basically to punish any offences he's seen. If that's listed as an offence, regardless of the context, and he's fully aware of it, then essentially that is his job.
So your thoughts regarding that incident?
Yeah, I actually talked about that on Facebook about a month ago. It really is catch 22.
Yeah.
He can't win at all, can he?
Yeah, although the referee wasn't in the wrong to put Damari Gray.
He wasn't in the right either.
But it was harsh.
Yeah.
Harsh considering the message Gray displayed.
So, I mean, my thoughts on this, I agree. It was harsh, but and he's got to do it, sadly. But I think this for me would be the resolution into this whole sort of topic in terms of players taking their shirts off, and I wondered if you guys agree. But I feel like there needs to be more communication, or it needs to be a bit more well known that sadly it's not a ref's discretion on this.
Yeah, that's true.
It has to be done, and I felt like I don't know. I felt like either the Premier League or the FA, someone should have come out and sort of backed Lee Probert there.
Yeah, because it's pinning all of the blame on one person when they're just the face of it. Like, what really I think it should be is a case of measuring the manner in which the shirt's taken off. Like, if you're excessively doing it and winding up the opposition fans and trying to incite a bloody riot, then by all means, book the player. If it's a very small show of support, or sometimes people do it if they partner's recently given birth or whatever. Like, I don't think that's really grounds for it to be listed as an offence with regards to taking your shirt off. You can't have a bloody message scrawled on the front of your shirt. It's got to go somewhere.
Good old Nicholas Bentner.
Oh, well, yeah.
I mean, that's a whole different topic.
That's a different ball game.
That's the other end of the spectrum. But yeah, I don't know. I just feel, for me personally, I don't feel like there's enough communication in that sense, because Lee Probert, or whoever the match official, I think it was Lee Probert off the top of my head. He, there's no way, like you said, there's no way he should sort of bear the brunt for that. And the fact that, anyway, referees can't come out and explain their decisions.
Yeah.
Means that
there needs to be more transparency. Let's be honest.
Yeah, I mean that's the issue here, because it's literally because the Premier League or the FA or whoever don't sort of step forward and say, look, this is the reason why, the rationale, and he wasn't right, then it all gets directed towards the match official.
The one person.
Yeah, the one person who, in the nicest respect, doesn't really have any choice.
No, exactly. Their hands are forced. It's the same as if they saw a bloody slide tackle from behind last man. You're not going to ignore it just because the intention is to get the ball. If it's a foul, it's a foul. If it's an offence, it's an offence.
Yeah, it's I don't know. I just find it slightly weird. But aside from that incident alone, what is your general feel, Jake, in terms of going forward? Should there be like basically a blanket ban on players taking their shirts off, or should it just be should players be allowed to express themselves?
Yeah, I mean, so long as it's not winding people up, so long as it's like, I couldn't have like a player with a swastika under their shirt, launching it out. You can't do things like that. But I think small shows of support or just personal remarks, I don't see what the problem is. If it's something a bit crude or something offensive, then obviously, but for small things, I don't really see the problem. I don't think the other players care about it particularly. I don't think it really winds anyone up if you take your shirt off. And like Ese said, a lot of the time, it's just done in the heat of the moment. You're gassed about scoring or whatever. You don't really care about anything else. It's just a celebration.
Yeah, I mean, it is an emotion, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, sport is full of emotion. If you want to stamp out, things like that completely, you may as well get rid of the crowd. That's like saying, well, why are you cheering when you scored a goal? What are you doing?
I don't know. Ese, do you want to jump in? Maybe this is a wider discussion on celebrations as a whole.
It's going that way, isn't it?
I feel like I mean, you had, what was it, Bernardo Silva with his thumbs up, and obviously he'd just done something with the YouTube before. What? Now I'm linking this in because Jake, you said about like the swastika being on a shirt or something like that.
Yeah.
I'm sure they stamped that out as like no political symbols or.
I mean, I use that as probably a bad example, but like, you can't incite fans or, not wind them up or anything like that. But I think, if it's like, congratulations, my wife, baby number 3, like, I don't see the problem in that.
Yeah, but someone will use it to launch their own merch.
Oh, yeah, completely, yeah. Well, that's true. That's a bit odd.
Lift up, use Ronaldo 10 for 10% off of your next order from Ronaldo.
Yeah, I mean that's weird. That's almost like there's probably certain rules against promotions that you can't do that anyway. And if that's the case, then book them. But there's got to be some sort of additional ruling behind that.
Yeah, sorry, we completely went off on one and ignored Ese there. Let's go.
You talk about promotions, and that just took me back to a time where Nicholas Bentner got in trouble for just being Paddy Power.
I knew you were going to say that. I knew that was coming.
I mean, that sort of thing that's not allowed anyways, but players and deals and stuff like that. But seriously though, I think punishing players just for taking their shirts off, I think I think the FA must come up with a rule about that. As in, if it's displaying something that's not a football, then yeah, that player should be punished. But if it's something as light as just taking your shirt off anyway, or it's displaying a message to your family or friends or whatever, then no, you shouldn't be punished like that.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Also, the FA have to be careful they don't become the NFL, because the NFL actually have celebration rules, which is why some people call it the no fun league.
I like that. I like that.
I mean, what? Go on, Ese. Sorry, it keeps cutting out, but carry on.
For instances, I think this NFL player, I think it was last year or a couple of years ago, he got penalized for jumping in a big donation bucket. And there was another one. Got penalized. Hold on.
That is bizarre. That's really odd.
This is definitely a wider discussion about.
Yeah.
Interesting. Sorry, Ese. Carry on. Ese?
Yeah. There was another incident where this guy ran up to the post and sort of like bear hugged it, and he got penalized for that. I'm just thinking to myself, like, what?
Yeah, that's bizarre. But you're right though, in the way like something as small as a very heartfelt gesture by Leicester players, because their owner died in a helicopter crash. Like, if that can't be tolerated or accepted, then there probably does need to be some sort of review into it.
That's why I think they need to come out and have this blanket white stance. Away from, it's got to be taken away from the refs, because they can't, like, they've just
100%.
They don't decide the rules.
They don't make them. They just enforce them. Essentially, they just make sure that the game follows the rules. And if you've got a stupid rule, then unfortunately it's their undesirable job to make sure that it's dealt with accordingly.
Yeah, definitely. Chaps, sadly we've ran a little bit over. Through time and everything like that. But
extra time.
Extra time. I don't know what you guys think, but I think that was a really good debate and discussion. I think
we ended up learning a lot.
Yeah, and you know what? I think we have opened a new can of worms.
100%.
Of a topic we will have to discuss in more detail. But celebrations, be interesting.
100%.
Happens. So yeah, chaps, final, like before we wrap up as such, simple yes, no. Should players get booked for taking off their shirts? Jake?
No.
Ese?
I'm gonna say no, but yes, only in like controversial circumstances.
Yeah, 100%.
Circumstances.
Okay, that's a hat trick across the board. All for people celebrating. As long
How do people?
Yeah, as long as it's done tastefully, but yeah, not a problem. Okay, so that brings us to the end of the show. Let us know your thoughts in the comment section below and the poll as well. Be interested to see the results on that one, so I will be checking back. And Jake and Ese, do you mind just giving anyone listening in your social media handles and how they can follow you?
Ese, you can go first.
Okay, then. Yeah, so it starts off alphabetically. So mine is A96OAYE.
Good job. And Jakey?
You can see my ramblings on JT1196.
And my ramblings are at Danny Cook 1996. So yeah, chaps, that was really good. I enjoyed that. I hope you guys did as well. Don't all jump at once. On that note, thank you very much for listening. We'll be back again soon with another episode. Until then, check out the site and see you around soon. Thank you very much for listening. Goodbye.
Dicks out for Harambe.